Hello, and welcome to Seattle Real Estate Radio. We are in our new studio. It's Casa de Nossum, a la the downstairs. I just basically said we're downstairs at my house.
In Espanol.
In Espanol. I'm very Spanish. If you're looking online at our YouTube channel, you will see that I am definitely not.
Not Spanish. Maybe Spanish Norwegian. Is there such?
There's no such thing. Anyways, welcome to Seattle Real Estate Radio. We got a lot of feedback from people saying that the videos really help them, and so we added a screen with slides, and we can actually show you what we're talking about because real estate is such a visual thing. So to start off, my name is Christian Nossum. I'm the founder of the Awesome Nossum Group. I'm a real estate agent here in Seattle, and this is my co-host.
Yeah, my name is Dan Keller. I am a mortgage advisor at New American Funding. My MLO number, I have to stay compliant. This guy doesn't. My MLO number is 115349. I've been a loan officer since 2008. And known this guy.
You came in right after the bubble burst.
Right. At
Great timing.
Best time. Zero baggage, and I knew nothing, and the mortgage industry changed as everyone knew it at that time. So about 3 years later, I met Christian, and we've had a really good business relationship for the past, I would say, 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And then recently, a couple of years ago, we decided to go on the venture of being on radio and starting a podcast. And so that's where we're at today. What we do typically every week or twice a month, we bring kind of the best of both of our worlds, and we bring it to you, the general public. It's hard to really go online right now and find anything that you can believe without it being framed to one side of one person's, I guess, opinion.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we just give you kind of a view into our lives, what's going on with the Seattle real estate market, what's going on in the mortgage market, what we're seeing right now. And what's today's date?
It's August 22nd.
Yep.
Tuesday, August 22nd.
So we're really what's relevant right now in the mortgage and real estate industries and how it can benefit you as a homeowner, as a home buyer, or somebody that, let's say you're renting and you've always wanted to own a home and it may not be in the works for another year or two, but it's good information that you can use right now to start planning.
Yeah. So I want to get right into it. I want to show you some good info, some great stats. So this is something that everyone is asking, is the market going to continue and why is it so hot and what the heck is going on? So this shows you the number of listings. A listing is a home that is for sale. So the number of active listings, which is yellow, and pending listings, which is orange, over the last 10 years in Seattle. So as you can see, back in 2007, before the bubble burst, we didn't have all that many listings. And then it shot up. And we went up to 3,000 listings in 2008, 2009. And then it just kind of went like that. 2011, the market started to heat back up, went down in 2012. And every year, it kind of does this kind of a bell curve. Right now, though, we're in this really funky spot.
Really funky.
Where we actually have more pending listings than active listings. Right now, just this last 2 months is when the first time all year that we've had more active listings than pending, and that's right here.
I think this is what's really important about this info that we're sharing, and I really want you to understand this as a viewer, that at the very right side, at the very most relevant recent point of this graph, you see a shift. You actually see the active listings increase over the pending, which is actually, Christian's going to tell you what that means, but that's important to know because if you weren't staying on top of the market and you were listening to like Zillow and some of the news, Seattle Times, they're not talking about what Christian's going to talk about right now. They're talking about where there would actually be more pending sales than active listings, and that's just not accurate. But I didn't mean to hijack your graph.
How dare you?
But that's important to know. That's why we're here.
So now I'm going to show you over the last 10 years, the months of inventory. And the reason that you need to understand this. So in an average market, in a balanced buyer and seller market where it's not too heavy one-sided, we have about 4 to 6 months of inventory. That was 2007. We have not had that much since about 2012. We've been a buyer's or a seller's market since then. And right now, we're the lowest we've been in a long, long time. There was a stat that came out. When we were in the studio, the radio studio, a few months back, we had talked about it, and I want to say it was like December of 2016. We had the lowest number of inventory ever in recorded history, according to the MLS, the Northwest MLS, and that right there, coupled with this right here, which is the consumer sentiment, basically consumer confidence, and on top of all that, the number of people moving to Seattle with very well-paying jobs, high-paying jobs, you add all these factors on top of each other, and you kind of start to understand why we are where we are in the market, why it's such a seller's market, why there's such low inventory, why each offer is so competitive. And that's kind of what we're showing. So if you look at consumer confidence over the last 10 years, again, 2007, when the market and the economy started to crash, that's when it was at its lowest point, 2007, 2008. And then that's right over the top of that same slide I just showed you, which was number or months of inventory. That's the line right here. That's when the number of inventory or months of inventory shot up to almost a year and a half worth of inventory. And since then, it's kind of narrowed off or kind of tailed off. But now we're at our highest consumer confidence. And if you look at the very beginning of the chart, in 2007, we were super high as well, when the market was going crazy and gangbusters. And now we're back there. But we have super low inventory now, way lower than before.
We use these slides in our homebuyer classes to answer the question, and this will be a totally different show, most likely our next show, but to answer a question, are we heading toward another bubble? And the reason why we use this slide to explain that, and what I want you to understand, is the difference between consumer confidence in 2007 and consumer confidence in 2017 is completely different.
Completely different.
The jobs now are in tech and medical, mainly tech. And unless you've been sleeping under a rock for the past probably 5 to 10 years, tech is the future of our country. The future of the world is revolving around tech. We didn't have that pushing our economy in 2007. We had tourism, we had building and housing. Construction was big. So totally different things. And so when somebody asks, are we heading toward another bubble? When you can come back with data like this, it will put you as a home buyer or as a seller at ease.
And just to make another very, very vivid point clear, back then in 2007, before the bubble burst, 2005, 6, 7, it was simple to get a mortgage. I mean, you literally had to be alive and you could get a mortgage. You had a pulse, you could get whatever loan amount you wanted to. It was insane. Nowadays, and Dan can attest to this because that's his line of work. I can attest to it because I help buyers all the time find their house and negotiate it. It's super hard to get a loan. It's not easy, and it shouldn't be easy. You got to prove a lot of stuff. You got to have a well-paying job. You got to have good credit history, and it wasn't like that back in the day.
Credit, income, and assets must be verified today, and in 2005 and 6, they didn't need to be verified. So completely different markets. Great topic for another show.
Yes.
But let's get back to your numbers.
All right.
Killer.
So now this is single-family homes for sale in the Seattle area. Includes East Side as well. And this is showing sales price to list price. So what did places sell for? How much over the asking price did homes sell for? That's basically what this is showing. So say they were asking $700,000. Did it sell for $800,000 or did it sell for $705,000? And it kind of depends on exactly where you're at. So I kind of created this metaphor that I think kind of helps visualize what happened. If you look back about 6 months ago, and I don't have this map 6 months ago, but if you were to look back 6 months ago, downtown Queen Anne, Capitol Hill would be super dark red, whatever this weird brownish
Rainier
color.
Beach is now. Yeah.
And that would be right here. And now it started to spread out. So I look at it as downtown Seattle was kind of a volcano, and it had erupted earlier in the year. And since then, the lava has flowed further away. The center has cooled, but the lava is flowing farther away. And those are the areas that are now getting higher and higher in price. And the reason why is because the most desirable area is closer to the centers of work, which is clearly South Lake Union downtown. Those places, those neighborhoods went up in price so much that most people can't afford there anymore. That's why they're pushing themselves out to West Seattle, to Rainier Beach, to the north.
Lake City.
Yeah, Green Lake, Lake City, kind of Ravenna, Ballard, those areas. And that's why those areas are so popular now, where they weren't going up way over the asking price 6 months ago. They still were in some spots and in some neighborhoods, smaller specific neighborhoods, but right now it is a larger area that's happening. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
All right, let's talk about interest rates, mortgage rates. Where are they at?
Yeah, so I mean, he's talking about how how hot the market is in certain areas. The mortgage market kind of is more you take more of a universal approach. So interest rates right now in Florida are the same as they are right now here in Washington.
It's a nationwide thing.
It's a nationwide thing. What I want to focus on is more kind of like what rates have done this year. I give this graph, and this is the bond market. So to kind of paint the picture of what we're looking at, this is the mortgage bond market. And this is, remember this, I produce a weekly Making Sense of the Market video. It's about 4 minutes long, and it talks about the markets, and I explain this chart because this is what I watch to better advise you as clients and my real estate partners. So what I want you to focus on right here, this is the bond market. The higher these numbers, that means the better the market's trading. That means the lower interest rates, okay? So remember this. The higher this chart, way up here. So what I want you to focus on right here, that right there was pre-election. So November 8th or 9th of 2016. What happened after Trump got elected is you saw a massive crash in the bond market. What investors did is they pulled money out of mortgage bonds and they put them into stocks. You all know this. The stock market has been on a massive run it's been on a massive run for 5, 6, 7 years. But literally in the last, 8 months, it's been on an incredible run.
Yep.
And that's because of the stock market and what investors did, putting their faith in Trump and his
economy,
business
his
agenda,
plan.
his
Yeah.
economic plan.
Yep.
What we're starting to see is that wear off because the results haven't been as quickly as, I don't know if Trump promised them to happen quick, but investors are becoming impatient. So we're also seeing some economic news that just isn't there. We expected a lot more, investors expected a lot more in regards to economic growth and jobs with Trump and his agenda coming in. So what we've seen recently, and this is good news for you as a home buyer or even as a seller because it means more home buyers are going to be out there to potentially offer on your home, is we're seeing the market improve back to pre-election marks, which interest rates right up here, 30-year fixed rates, for example, were at about 3.375. Really, really low
fixed.
for a 30-year fix
That's
prior
insane.
to Trump getting elected.
That's insane.
Well, right now they're at about that same exact loan program. They're right around 3.875 to 4%.
Which is by far
Darn
since
close.
The election is the best that I've heard of.
Best in 30-year fixed rates are the best we've seen them in 2017 today. And that's not me saying that. Look at the chart.
Yeah.
So the bond market is trading as high as it's traded all year in 2017. So I just wanted to touch on that. Hey, interest rates are coming back down. They're recovering since the election. They're as low as they've been all year. Good recipe to purchase a home right now.
Nice. Then tell us about this.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to share with you. This is my Making Sense of the Market video that I produce every week. I really do this for my past clients and my current clients. If you're listening to this and you'd like to view this, if you go to my website, which is mymortgageguydan.com, or the Dan Keller Group, you'll actually get to see it. You'll be able to go back and rewatch last week's episode. But what I talk about here is go back to that previous slide. So I always show a picture. I always show a snapshot of the bond market, and then the very next slide, I attach numbers to what that means. So for government loans, FHA, VA, and USDA loans, depending on credit score, down payment, and type of property, 30-year fixed rates are 3.625 to 3.875. For conventional Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac back loans, your typical 20% down type loan, those interest rates are 4% to 4.25. So that chart that I showed you, that's what that means in regards to 30-year fix. So,
and I will say that this was a snapshot of a video you made last Friday or
Saturday morning, yeah.
So today is Tuesday. The market has, in terms of interest rates,
It's
interest
improved
rates have
a
gotten
little.
better.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah.
Yep. So, and what's your MLO number? Just
So
for the
again,
hell
because
of
we
it.
talked rates, MLO number is 115349. And and as I talk up here, what's causing the markets to move? Like I said earlier, Trump and political uncertainty. I think a couple people have resigned, or he's fired a couple people on his staff. And
Few people.
Again, it's got investors going. That's not good.
Yeah.
If we came out with this plan and this is happening, there's a little bit of uncertainty there. So more political uncertainty, better for interest rates. Cool.
Well, that's about it for our latest episode of Seattle Real Estate Radio. Definitely check out seattlerealestateradio.com. You can watch all of our past episodes. We often have guests on, so if you're looking for a plumber, a insurance guy, an attorney to help with trusts or
Financial
anything,
planner.
a financial planner, you can watch all of our past videos where we have interviewed our experts, people that we trust and we recommend, right there on our website, seattlerealestateradio.com. You could also reach out to either of us, mymortgageguydan.com or my website, awesomenosome.com, and let us know feedback-wise, how you like this, what you'd like to see more of, what you didn't like, how my jokes were horrible, probably, or maybe they were really good. I don't know. I don't even know if I said any jokes this week.
Good show.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.